Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Right now, the close range meta in Black Ops 6 Warzone is honestly incredibly competitive, probably the most competitive that it's been this year, thanks to some of the weapon updates and adjustments that they've made over the past couple of updates. So today, I wanted to break down the absolute best close range meta options and of course, the best setups for them. So first up here, post-edit Zach here. The Jackal was going to kick things off, but of course I recorded this video right before they nerfed it a few days back. It's not it anymore. Its range falls off really hard. It's all right, but definitely not one that I'd consider a close range meta. So much for that. Hey, fresh meta, we'll take it. Now, probably my favorite feeling SMG in the game right now is the C9. It just is doing everything. It's got great mobility, really good handling, good control, quick TTK in the close range, and then especially in the mid range as well. So it's incredibly versatile. I really have been enjoying this thing after the buffs that it got with season 2. I do use the compensator here. I find this weapon to be incredibly easy with this on there. You could always use a suppressor if you wanted to, if you really do value staying off the radar, but you're gonna be laser accurate with the compensator on there. Ranger foregrip again helps out with some mobility and some control, so that's a win-win for the SMGs. Extended 2 here is 50, the rate of fire. It's 732. It's a little bit faster than the Jackal, but you're still not necessarily going to rip through ammo like crazy. It's not going to be like a constant reload every single fight, especially with how fast this TTK is, right? And then here I actually double up. Ergonomic rear grip, obviously fantastic for the ADS and slide to fire as we just mentioned, but then also balanced stock stacking on top for strafe, general movement, speed, ADS, strafe. I love the benefits of this as well. Whenever you can run it, it's always super convenient. So we get a very agile, very snappy and aggressive SMG here. Like I said, probably my favorite feeling close range option as of right now. The Kompakt is another great choice up close. This one relies a lot more on accuracy though, just because of the rate of fire being so insane. In this case, you do burn through ammo, so you got to make every shot count. I really do focus on control a lot because if you're landing shots, this thing's one of the fastest TTK options in the entirety of the close range meta in the game in general. This thing can melt if you are very accurate with it. So for that reason, we got the compensator on here helping out with our recoil control. I do go for Ranger foregrip yet again, control and sprinting movement speed. Extended 3 is only 60 here, and with a 1091 RPM, you still burn through 60 rounds incredibly quickly. So you will be reloading a lot. Just a heads up there, a little bit of a PSA, right? Ergonomic rear grip here yet again, slide to fire speed, ADS speed improvements, always crucial there. And then I really do like recoil springs on here. Basically free control, added horizontal and vertical control for no real cons there. So it's going to be a lot easier to stay on target, and this thing is already by default relatively snappy and aggressive. So quick TTK, quick movement, it's quick everywhere, really fun to use. Definitely got to get some quick reloads off though as well. By the way, as we are breaking down all the weapons and setups here today, if you enjoy the video, a like rating is always really appreciated, helps grow the channel and share the video around to new viewers. And if you happen to be one of those new viewers, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, whether it's news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, it's all right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Also a big fan of the PP919 still. I mean, this thing is just so easy. They have adjusted it some, so it's not going to be as great as it was in season 1, but it's still a phenomenal choice here. Close range, mid range, it's so straightforward and easy to use. Really, this is probably the lowest entry barrier weapon on the list here today. You pick it up, you're going to fry with it. It's not going to take much to get comfortable with this thing. So basic suppressor, not too difficult for control like I mentioned, so don't really have to worry about compensators or anything there. Long barrel extends out that damage range to just over 17 meters. Really good for an SMG, of course. You don't need a magazine here. You have 64 rounds by default, so you're big chilling there. We got ergonomic rear grip yet again, balanced stock yet again. And then I go for recoil springs. It's already pretty easy to use, but this makes sure that you are just lasering everyone here. So you're gonna be able to just melt players, especially in the mid range. It's extra convenient, but then even up close, snappy, it's aggressive. Love the feel of this thing as well. Now, it's not all just SMGs here in the close range meta. We got some decent sniper support choices too, including the MCW conversion kit. This thing is a beast. The Jack Raven kit turns the MCW from a slow, heavy rifle into a close range phenom. Quite frankly, this thing's TTK is absurd through like the first 20 meters or so. So you pair this with a cat, a car, an LR762, a Frostline, whatever the case is, and it's going to melt as that sniper support option here. So of course, the most important part part of the setup is this Jack Raven kit, buffing the rate of fire, the mobility, the damage at close range, just makes it way more aggressive and really feel like an SMG. The Jack Cutthroat stock is going to help out even more with that, giving us some good strafe speed, some good general movement speed. Like the feel of this on here a lot. The 40 round extended mag is the max here. Unfortunately, 800 RPM is pretty quick, so you do have to reload pretty frequently, but luckily you'll be doing it after you knock players, because this thing melts players so fast you're gonna have time to get that reload off while they're trying to res or they're trying to run away from you, right? Spirit Fire Suppressor on here extends that range and that velocity out some, so almost a 22 meter effective damage range. 547 velocity works for where you really want to capitalize on where this thing's good. And then, not a huge fan of the irons, so I go for the Night Owl model 2023 in this case. This works really well for me. I like this optic and the scope a lot. If there's a different one you like more, feel free to go ahead and run that. But yeah, the MCW conversion is still a beast here in BO6. Hey everyone, real quick, just wanted to give a shout out to my friends over at G Fuel. If you are trying to stay energized, hydrated, focused, G Fuel has you covered in all areas. They've got the brand new hydration and focus sticks, which I gotta say are absolutely phenomenal. They of course have a bunch of different flavors for your standard energy formula and loads to choose from for their cans as well. So they got you covered on all fronts if you're looking to stay hydrated, energized, focused, whether you're gaming, doing work, school, whatever the case is. If you ever want to grab anything at all from the G Fuel site, be sure to throw in code IMMORTAL at checkout. That'll help save you some money on your order. Link for that will be down in the description below. Now, of course, the PPSH has been the beneficiary of some buffs as of late. It was already decent when it dropped, then they made it even easier to use. This thing is a fantastic close range choice. Really good for like running and gunning, hip firing a transition into an ADS up close. It definitely burns through ammo, but it's also got really good TTK up close and a pretty forgiving range as well. Like the damage drop-offs are not all that harsh on this thing, which I am personally a big fan of. I do just rock the suppressor. If you want some added recoil, feel free to go ahead and run the compensator here, but of course, suppressor never a bad choice there. Long barrel extending out our damage range to 20 meters. Like I said, that range is fantastic, and a 530 velo will work fine for that range as well. Ranger foregrip here yet again for the control and mobility benefits. Extended 2 is going to be 55 with a 952 rate of fire. That's not a ton. Again, like I said, you'll be reloading a lot. And then for your 5th and final attachment, you probably want to lean towards the stock, but it really depends on what you value here. Ergonomic is always a great choice. You get some slide to fire speed. It'll just make it a little bit better there, because that is a pretty slow stat, all things considered. You'll notice that if you are sliding slide canceling a lot in your gunfights, this thing's slide to fire speed is a little bit slower than some other choices. I also think the combat stock though is great for kind of the same reasons. It also though helps out with your sprint to fire as well. I think the quick draw stock is also pretty advantageous, helping out with your ADS speed, which unless you're using the quick draw stock is not that fast, 215. So kind of just depends on how you play the game up close. Are you sliding a lot? Are you jumping a lot? Do you depend on hip fire or ADS, or what's the deal? I personally like quick draw stock the most, but you certainly have some options there depending on your play style. The MW3 Striker is also a surprisingly good choice in the close range. This thing has an insane damage range, so you could use this as sniper support if you want to, or just as a decent SMG secondary. It's going to melt up close, and it's really not going to drop off until you're at like 22 meters or something like that. Crazy good range with a quick TTK out there that's way better than a lot of the other SMGs at that point. So here, not a big fan of the irons yet again, so a Slate or a Night Owl, whatever scope you're comfortable with, feel free to go ahead and pop that on there. Sonic Suppressor will extend out our range and our velocity. We also stack that with the Recon Long Barrel, so we end up getting a 667 velo. That's fantastic for the mid-range, the hit scan range and whatnot, and then just under a 14 meter effective damage range with very minimal drop-offs there as well. So really good in the mid-range as well as the close range, of course. Jack Slash is going to help out with some movement, but then also some vertical control, so weapons a tad bit easier and you're a little bit faster. W there. And then also 60 round extended mag, pretty basic all things considered, but that'll work fine for all squad sizes. So yes, a non BO6 SMG is actually a very strong option right now. And then to wrap things up, we have one of my new favorite SMGs, the KSV. This thing's been on the up and up as of late, and I really enjoy using this. Didn't get to use it too much in season 1, been using this on a lot of loadouts here in season 2, and I love the feel of this thing. It just fries close range, mid range as well. Suppressor here keeps me off the radar, of course. Long barrel extends out that damage range to just under 20 meters, so that's phenomenal. 550 velocity works just fine. Ranger foregrip, yet again, extended 2 in this case will be a 50 rounder with an 800 RPM. It's decent enough. It's not, you know, the most ideal like a 60 or a 75, but you can work with that just fine. No worries there. Then ergonomic rear grip again for that slide to fire and that ADS. I'm telling you, the KSV, the more you use this, the more you start to love it. That at least was the case for me right here in season 2. But that being said, those are the best close range meta options right now in Black Ops 6 Warzone, and that's going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button on your way out to always stay up to date with everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.